Hello, CATS people. We have finally made some improvements to the Snowline email tool, and I'm going to, in this video, just quickly go over what some of the changes are, and then it's my intention to do separate videos on some of the new functionality. So first of all, the new email is under Tools, Email 2.0. Okay, so if you don't have that showing up under Tools, log out and log in if you haven't. And if you still don't have it, then contact myself and we'll make sure that we get it added to your security profile. So first things first. So you can always use the old email tool still. There it is. You can just use what we used to use. Okay, so that's that. One thing that's different here in the history is you can now see if somebody's opened your email. So if you send it out to 10 people, then you can see for each person, you can go into the two and you can see who's opened it, who hasn't. So if they say, I haven't seen your email, you can go, yes, you did. All right, Big Brother is watching. Another change is distribution lists. So you can now import a spreadsheet of anyone that you have, first name, last name, email address. You can import that spreadsheet and have that as your distribution list, and then you can add people if you want to add some random person to it. You can add a contact to it. You can always delete a contact, or you can make a change. So I'm going to make a change to this guy there. Okay, so that's distribution lists. And you then can, in addition to your statistics about who opened it, you can also see if you do the new newsletter function, which we'll take a look at, and you include links in your newsletter, then you can see what's the hit rate on my links. So how many people have clicked on the link that I included. I don't know why you would, but google.com. So as a demo, I put google.com in there and I click the link when I open the email, and then it tracks that. Okay, you can now save drafts. So as you're working on an email, we used to call them templates, now we call them drafts. If you're working on an email, you can save it as a draft and then you can go back to it and reuse it over and over again. And all of the people, your recipients that you had in there, attachments, etc., they're all saved in the draft. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at the email itself that has changed. There's some new functionality there that I'm pretty excited about. So you can now change who it's from. So now when I send this email, it's going to say Snowline dude. That's who it's from. So you can do that. You can change your reply to, put in a subject. Now, big change here is who you can send to. We talked about distribution lists, and so there they are. So if I had a distribution list and I wanted to use it, I could pick my list, and then there's my recipients. Okay, I don't want to do that. And as before, you can pick your member type. So I'm in a club. I'm in a single club. If I was in a division, I would have lots more clubs to pick from, but I'm in a single club. And I want to pick my students. There they are. I don't want them all. I only want one, right? You get the idea what you can do. Here, I want students and instructors and volunteers, going through it that way. I want only students that are in my weekly program, right? I can do that. So I can keep filtering down on my list. I can use my distribution list. Another change is, this is more for divisions probably, is I could say I want to send something to all the club presidents or all of the finance people. And then finally, you can now send to your donors. So I can say, you know, pick all of the people that are in, that have donations under my general donations campaign. Okay, so that's who I want to send to. And then the really big change is in the actual body. So I can do very simple email, just here, we'll just do one. Hi, first name. Hi, Dave. Nice to see you. Okay, that's that. So I can do simple email, and I could make it formatted, so I could make my simple email a little fancier, right? This is what we always had before. We used the summer note editor. where you can put a little bit of formatting in there, right? So that's always been there. And now the big change though is newsletters. So you can now finally do newsletters. So we're using the it's called the unlayer, whatever it's called, unlayer, the unlayer email format builder. And so we can put in a heading. We can put in, maybe I want to put a couple pictures below that. All right, so I want to put a picture there. I want to put a picture there, and then I want to put in down here. I want to put in maybe a bunch of text down below. So put in some text. I can put in buttons, right? So you get the idea. Here I'll just pop in a quick picture. I think I have one uploaded. There we go. So we'll actually put it in both places. There. All right. Maybe I want to center my heading. And I'll go over this again in detail in an email, in a video specifically on how to do these unlayer emails. Okay. So the other thing I can do now that's new is I can test it. So I could save it as a draft, right? We talked about that. Or I can just send myself an example real quick. And there's my sample email with my pictures and my text. And the email looks nicer now. This is cleaned up. The header part is cleaned up better. And it's got a nice signature block at the bottom with unsubscribe, etc. That pretty well summarizes most, I guess, of the changes that we've made. It's a great improvement, and my hope is that if you're paying for Constant or you're paying for MailChimp or something like that, maybe you can take a look at this, try it, see if it works for you, and then maybe you can save on your monthly emailing costs. And I look forward to some feedback on what works, what doesn't work, and maybe on improvements. All right, thanks for listening.